So now let's talk about how to find successor in general for any tree, any node in the binary search tree. So let's look at our example tree. Okay, so if I talk about 100, who is the successor? The successor is 200. Okay, which is a value slightly greater than 100 because this is in the increasing order. Okay, so successor is supposed to be the value slightly greater. Okay, so if a node has right subtree, then the successor will be definitely located in the right subtree. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's first consider the case that given the value, given the node, it has the right subtree. Okay, so let's write the function successor. And now we are going to find out the successor for a given node. Okay, so again remember, we are saying that we are not passing a value, but we are saying that we are given the address of a node and we are searching for successor given the address of this particular node. Okay, so now first assume that there is a right child for this particular node. In that case, what is going to happen? If node dot right is not equal to null, if that's the case, my successor is there. But where my successor will be? So let's see. In any binary search tree, how can I find out the minimum value? The minimum value would be to the left of the root, and if root has a child, it will be to the left of that child, and so on. So always the leftmost value is going to be the minimum value. And when we want a successor for a particular node, we are going to search for it in the right subtree, but it will be the minimum value in the right subtree because we want a value which is slightly higher. Okay, immediate next value. So if node dot right is not equal to null, then what we'll do is I will say that I'm going to call a method get minimum of a tree rooted at node dot right, and I'm assuming that this will return me the address of a node which is the leftmost node in my right subtree, and such node is supposed to store the smallest value in the right subtree. For example, if I want to find out successor of 100, I have to go to the 200, and for this particular tree rooted at 200, I have to find out the minimum value. So I'll start from the root of this subtree and keep on going to the left as much as possible. Okay, so it has no left child, so 200 is the minimum value in this subtree, and we'll get the address of 200. Okay, in that case I will just return this address. That's what I need. Okay, so if I have right subtree, this is straightforward. Okay, but sometimes a node might not have a right subtree. For example, let's take example of 80. Okay, so 80 doesn't have a right subtree, but 80 still has a successor. So if I go and check, for 80 the successor is 100. Okay, so for such cases, how can we find out successor? So first thing we should do is we would say that, oh, we know this node, so we'll call it as the current node. Let's say current is equal to node, and then we'll say that the parent is equal to the node dot parent. Okay, so now we are keeping two pointers, the current node that we are looking at and the parent that we know of. And now we should keep going up the tree till we find out first such ancestor such that the next node that we have is actually the left child. Okay, so what we'll do is we will have a looping construct while, and it will have certain condition for breaking. We'll write that condition sometime later, but inside what we have to do is, it's simple. Okay, so we'll say that our current is going to be parent, so we move up, and our parent will be parent's parent, so parent dot parent. Okay, and how long should we do this? Okay, we should do this till perhaps we reach to the end, right? So if we reach to a stage where the parent that we have found out is null, okay, then we should break. So while par is equal to null, if that is true, then we should break. So instead of equal to, I should say it is not equal to. So while parent is not null, okay, so we should continue this loop only if the parent is not null, and we should also have one more condition, which is, well, the child that we are talking about is the right child. Once we find that one of the ancestors is left child, we should break. Okay, so we should say that this current is the right child. So, and our current is equal to the parent dot right. So I'll write here, okay, it is parent dot right. So till the time both these conditions are satisfied, I should keep going up. Okay, so let's look in the example for it. It doesn't have a right child. So if I try to find out successors for 80, is the node dot right equal to null? Yes, it is null. In that case, I cannot find minimum in the right subtree. Now my current will be 80, my parent will be 40. Okay, so let's write down our current and parent values. So my current and my parent. So I start with current as 80 and my parent is going to be 40. Now we ask question, is my parent currently null? Well, it's not null. Okay, and I have to also ensure that my current node is actually a right child of my parent, which is true. Okay, so which means that my current parent cannot be my successor because I am the right child. So my value is greater than my parent, so my parent cannot be my successor. So I have to go and search an ancestor which would be my successor. Okay, so what we will do next is we will say that our current is parent, so instead of 80 it will be 40, and parent will be parent's parent. So parent for 40 is 100, so we will say that parent is now 100. Okay, and we come back and ask question, has the parent become null? It's not. That's good. But we'll ask question, is it the case that the current node is the right child of the parent? It's not. 40 is the left child of my parent, which means that the current parent that I have got is the successor. Okay, so in that case what will happen is I'm going to return the value of my parent as successor. Okay, and that's the way I will find out successor. And now we just have to get the minimum in a rooted subtree. That's going to be easy, right? So if I want to do get minimum from a node, first thing I will check is if this node is equal to null. If that's the case, I will simply return my node. That's my empty tree. Okay, Otherwise, what will I do is, while I can find out node dot left. Okay, so if you can find out node dot left, you are going to go to the left. Okay, and we'll simply say that node will be equal to node dot left. So now basically you are iterating to find out the node that doesn't have a left child in the leftmost branch, and now you have got your answer. Okay, and then you would return the value. Okay, so let's put a new variable current equal to node to avoid confusion, and we'll say that current dot left, and then our current will be equal to current dot left, and we are going to return the value of current. Okay, and that's our get minimum function. So just for the case of say 100, okay, I want to find successor of 100. Let's try to do it. I want to get successor of 100. For the 100, is right subtree null? It's not. So I will call get minimum on the right child of 100. So right child of 100 is 200, and I'm going to call get minimum on 200. So get minimum on 200 would ask question, is 200 null? 200 is not null. So now currently I will point to 200. I'll ask question, is there a left child for 200, or there is no child for 200? Then I will not enter the loop. Okay, and I will return the value of current, which is 200. Okay, that's the way things are going to work. If I want to find out, let's say, successor for 200, then what will happen? I'll come and ask question, get me successor for 200. Is the right child of 200 null? 200 has 300 as the right child, so it is not null. So it will mean that get minimum from the subtree rooted at 300. So let's look at the subtree rooted at 300. We start with 300. We come here. Is our current node null? It is not. It is 300. So I'll point to 300. I'll ask question, do I have a left child for 300? Yes, we do have a left child for 300, which is 280. In that case, our current will become current dot left. So instead of 300, now I will point to 280, and I'll come back and ask question, does 280 have a left child? Yes, 280 has a left child, which is 250. So my current will become current dot left. So now I'll point to 250 and come back and ask question, oh, does 250 have a left child? It doesn't. So I'll break out of this loop and return 250, address of 250 to my client code. So I'll return the address of 250 as the successor for 200, which is the correct thing. Okay, so that's how the get minimum function works. And then in case you don't have a right subtree, your successor is going to be one of your ancestor. And which is the ancestor? The ancestor such that you belong to the branch where the child of that particular ancestor is the left child. Till the time you find right, you keep on going up. Okay, so you have a node which doesn't have a right subtree. You want to locate the successor for that particular node. You go and look at your ancestors, and you keep on going up the ancestor path till you find out an ancestor such that you just arrive to that ancestor through a left child path. Okay, that's the way it will work. And for some of the nodes, for a particular node in our binary search tree, there would be no successor, the highest value, right? For that we should return null. So let's check if that happens. Okay, so if I try to get successor for 400, does 400 have a right subtree? 400 doesn't have a right subtree. Okay, so I'll say that my current is 400 and my parent is the parent of 400, which is 300. Okay, so let's track this. So now we are doing it for 400. Okay, so my current is 400, my parent is 300, and we'll ask question, is my parent null? It's not. is my current equal to parent dot right? Is my current equal to, I'm comparing, right? Is my current equal to parent dot right? That's true. Okay, so I can go inside and then I'll move one place up. So my current will become now 300 and my parent will become the parent of 300, which is 200. Okay, and I reach to the end of the loop. I'll go back to the beginning and I'll ask question, is my parent null? No. And is my current a right child of parent? That's true. So I'll again go inside and now my current will become 200 and my parent will become 100. And I'll come inside and then I'll go and check, is my parent null? Is my current a right child of parent? That's true. In that case, my current will become 100 and my parent now will become the parent of 100, which is the root of the tree, right? So parent for 100 is null. So now my parent will become null. Okay, so I come back and ask question, is my parent null? Well, my parent is null. So I break out of the loop and I return the parent, which is null. So successor for 400 will be null and I will know that 400 has no successor. Okay, so that's the way find successor works. And what is the time complexity of this particular operation? If you have a successor in your right subtree, you have to go to the leftmost node in your right subtree. So in the worst case, this might be equal to the height of the tree. Okay, and if you don't have a right subtree, in that case you might have to go right back up to the root of the node. So again, in the worst case, the required effort would be of the order of the height of the binary search tree.